These are my new digs.
Yeah, the dungeon.
The dungeon. Well, it's not such a bad dungeon.
No, it actually is
spacious.
Very workable.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd note, though, is that there seems to be a serious lack of pictures in here.
I just moved in.
Okay.
Okay, but why don't I've got some easels from the left over from the gallery. So why don't we put up one of my framed shots, one of your framed shots?
Okay.
But the first thing I want to do is get the new Epson printer set up.
Okay. Let me help you with that, Mikey.
No, you do it.
Okay. Tell me where you want it.
Just right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Position it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Lots of blue.
Yeah, got to take all this stuff off.
All the blue off. Don't plug anything in until you've taken all the blue tape off.
Setting up a new printer is such a pain.
It's a joyful experience.
When you set up as many printers as I have, it's a pain, Michael. One of the most important things is to make sure you remove the headlock.
Right.
Is that everything? Okay.
All right, well, this is a really new model.
Okay, so I'm going to plug it in.
Yeah, well, we got to load the drivers, load the inks.
We literally have to plug it in first, then the inks, and then connect it to the computer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I actually looked at the manual.
RTFM, right?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so plugged in.
Okay.
And then go ahead and hit the...
We have to hit the power button. This is the successor to the 2880.
Yeah,
right?
Well, it's a replacement for 2880. I don't know if they're going to keep selling it. It's equal to the 3880, but in a 13-inch
It's a 13-inch rather than a 17-inch.
Yes.
As we'll see, because I did look at the manual, it has smaller cartridges.
Yes.
They're the K3 inks with light magenta.
Vivid magenta.
Vivid magenta, pardon me. And let's see what it says here. Install ink cartridges. See the setup manual for details. Ah, yes. We have to shake.
Agitate. That's
enough. Take off the plastic
and the tab.
And the tab.
Good.
Okay.
Now what color
and
is
this is a vivid magenta, which goes in the VM slot. And it obviously goes like that.
Yep. Okay.
Let's have the others. And these obviously will only fit in to the right slot because
theoretically
they're keyed. Vivid light magenta, VLM.
Cool.
Close the lid. Close the lid.
Okay, I think...
Initializing.
Yeah.
Do not turn power off and open the cartridge cover.
Okay, so it's charging.
Okay.
I don't know how long that takes.
All right, well, it'll take a while. So
one thing to point out also is that a lot of people get freaked out when they first install and they see all the ink drop. One of the things that it has to do is it has to fill the lines and it has to fill the head with ink. So you lose between 20 to 40% of that capacity. But you haven't lost it.
No, it's
You've
just
delayed using it.
It's gone out of the cartridge into the lines.
Yeah. Next step is to install the drivers.
Now, we had an interesting discussion while we were getting this out of the box, and that is that normally your recommendation is don't even install the driver disc, because who knows, it could be months old.
Yeah. You don't know when the printer was made, when the CD was pressed. So I suggest going to the website and downloading the most recent driver and all the updates before ever installing off the CD. This is a special case. This printer is so new, Epson doesn't even have the drivers on the website.
It just came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Okay,
so I'm going to run
load the driver.
Oh, before I do, could you do me a favor? Because we're going to want to attach it. Can I pass you this? Maybe just fling it around there.
That's actually then you want to connect to the computer, Mike?
Mike,
I already have the printer end over here.
Can we do this again?
Let me go ahead and plug in the USB.
Plug it in?
Yes. I'll try to be useful.
That would be helpful.
And I'm just going to stand here. I'll watch. I'll look over your shoulder.
Okay.
just checking the manual.
Epson drivers and utilities.
Yes.
Yes, I accept. I was going to do that.
Okay. Direct USB. So, you know, after you install the driver, then you'll go into the system preferences and go to printers and fax to load the new driver.
Really? I knew that.
I know you knew it. I wasn't sure you would remember to do it.
Oh, print test page. Epson R3000, print preset standard, print. Operation in progress. Do not open or close tray. I like the fact that they've got these color LCDs now. This is something inherited from the larger printers. That's very nice. Ooh, it's nice and quiet.
You got a congratulations.
Congratulations, you successfully installed your Epson printer. You know what? That's one of the smoothest installs I've ever done. They've really refined this nicely.
Now you can hit exit.
Okay, let's take out the... Now, there were some profiles for Epson papers that were included or that are built in.
Yes, so it's got a lot of the basic Epson driver profiles built in. But the problem is that you'll be printing on, what's the paper that you like printing on?
I like printing on the Canson Barita Photographique, which is photographique, that's the French pronunciation, photographique. Now, it's very similar to the Ilford Gold Fiber Silk. They're not exactly the same, but you know, if I can't buy one, I'll buy the other. Okay. But those are my two favorite papers.
So then with this new printer and your third-party non-Epson paper, the next step would be to make a profile.
Okay. So, you know, we've discussed the whole profiling issue separately, but what we need to do now, because I don't have a profile for the Canson paper, is we need to print out a target. So what I'm going to do is pop into Photoshop, and I created the two 8x10 A4 targets that come with the i1 Match software. I've actually taken them and put them on one 13x19 sheet.
Convenient.
Makes life a little easier. Yeah, well, smarter than the average bear. So what we need to do now is print this out. I'm printing this out of Photoshop CS4 because you can't do this properly or as easily as this in CS5.
Yeah, and so we'll cover that separately.
We'll talk about that separately. Okay, so Photoshop CS4, page setup. I'm going to the R3000 printer. I'm printing on 13x19 paper. That's all good. I set that up before. I now go to print. And over here, this is the one thing you got to do. No color management. You don't want anything to manage this. I want the colors that are in the file to be printed as the printer does it.
Unchanged.
Unchanged, not managed by the printer, not managed by a profile yet, which is the whole point. We're about to make a profile. And that's it. So I hit print. Oops, then I have to...
No, you got to get the printer setting.
Okay, presets. Yes, so we go to printer settings, premium glossy, which is the kind of paper that we have. That's fine. Superfine's fine, high speed's fine. That's all good.
And you'll notice that by default now the off, no color management is selected.
Oh, because it knew?
Yes.
They actually talk to each other.
Yeah, sometimes, but they don't always get along well together.
Oh, God. All right, I'm going to hit print. And that's it. So now we're going to print this out. And as we discussed in the profiling section, we have to wait a minimum of a couple of hours. And ideally, I think you and I agree, overnight.
Yeah, I you know, 12 hours or 24 hours is safe. It's actually kind of like dividing a fraction to get to zero. They will continue, the prints will continue to change over a long period of time.
But 99% is in the first 15 minutes or so.
Yes. Right. And then you're safe to wait overnight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, printer's about to start. Jeff, the profile has dried overnight, so you mind getting it off the light box?
Sure.
And we'll get out the I1
and let me move
do
my
a scan.
computer out of the way.
That would be kind of you. Don't drop it on the floor.
No. And let me swap glasses. I like to use my computer glasses to make sure that I can see.
The red ones are the vanity glasses,
Yes.
and those are the working glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let me get the printout.
Yep. And pass me the I1 if you don't mind.
Okay. Like I'm doing all the work.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Hey. And the box, please.
The I1 box.
All right. Let me move this. Okay. So we need the spectro, the calibrator, the guide, the USB cable. Okay.
Let me get that out of the way.
Yeah. All right, gotta get this plugged in.
So we're going to drill down on actual print profiles, both a basic using the I1 match and kind of a high-end profile using I1 Profiler in a different segment.
And talk about what the different alternatives are for getting profiles, making your own, buying them, all of that. Now we're just going to simply take as given.
Profile the new printer.
Yeah, we printed a profile before we finished up yesterday. Now we have a dry profile. It's been drying for over 12 hours.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a profile.
You mean you printed the target?
I said profile, I meant target.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's do it. All right, so now that I've got this plugged in, I put I1 Match on the desktop, so we can just launch it. And by the way, you have to have the Spectro plugged in, because if it doesn't see it, it isn't happy.
So you're going to go to easy.
I'm going to go,
This is just a quick profile.
I'm an easy guy.
But you're not going to profile your display.
And I'm not profiling my display, so I've got to go back, because that was its default position.
Yeah. So you're going to do an easy profile. There we go.
Yeah, okay. But I have already printed this out, so I'm just going to go to the next step. So now this wants to read the white square on the calibration device, which is critical. Calibrating, calibrating, calibrating.
While you're doing that, let me point out that you're using I1 Match, which came with the I1 Pro system. But I'll be showing I1 Profiler, the new version from X-Ray.
Right, yeah. And this is several years old. I mean, I've had this for a while. It really does the job nicely. Okay, so I hit the next arrow, and now it says, go measure. Okay, so we don't need this
the
anymore.
fun part.
Oh, this is tedious. And I'm envious of your automated system.
Yes. The I1IO makes making a profile less tedious.
So line it up on the first row, press the button, wait for the bing, and slide in a slow but steady motion. That means it got it. That was 1. Here's 2.
Successful.
All right, we're near the end. 2 more to go.
Boy, Michael. Such a pain.
Nah, it's not bad. You know what? If you're the kind of person who tries 10 new papers a month, then you probably want an automated device.
Yep.
Done. Okay. Next step. Saving measurement file.
I would recommend it.
Save the data?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, this computer does it faster than my old one.
That's one of the advantages of an upgrade.
Yeah, really. Also now this is 8 gig of RAM and 500 gig SSD.
Now it's very important to make sure that you name the profile the way you want it now, because it becomes very difficult to rename an ICC
because the names are internal as well.
Internal and external.
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be Canson
R3000.
R3000. Well, it's not just Canson, it's Barita Photographique, so I call that BP. So Canson BP R3000. And it's going to put it into the correct directory called Profiles. Saved successfully. We're done.
Pretty simple, relatively painless, tedious.
So now the next time I reboot Lightroom, I'll simply load that as one of my preset profiles.
Cool.
Easy.
So relatively simple to install a new printer.
Yeah.
You said it was kind of one of the easiest installs you've actually
This was a very elegant and simple install, and if we weren't such early adopters, there would likely be a Canson profile on the Canson website, and for Epson papers on the Epson website, but you know, printer's like 2 weeks old.
And the upside for you is you didn't even have to pick up the darn printer.
Thank you. So now that we've installed the printer and created a profile and can start working with it, I think let's turn our attention to what may be one of the most important topics, and yet, and we're discussing it because it was suggested by people on the Luminous-Landscape forum who said, let's talk about image quality. You know, what is image quality, and
both technically and
aesthetically.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Let me put away all of this nonsense, and I'm going to get. So I have some prints here.
Okay.
Let's get those.
But then I think we should also put some prints back behind.
Good idea. Let's do that. Let's put up the easels and our prints
Okay.
so that Chris has a nice, pretty shot for us, and we'll go from there.
Okay.